"Ma'am, this seat isn't for you. First class is for paying customers." The flight attendant's voice was sharp, dripping with condescension, and every eye in the cabin turned to her. The young black woman froze, clutching her boarding pass in her trembling hand. She had done nothing wrong. She had paid for this seat, saved for months to experience it just once in her life. Yet here she was, being humiliated in front of strangers. The whispers began. A man in a suit smirked. A woman rolled her eyes. The attendant didn't even bother lowering her voice. "You'll have to move to economy. Don't make this difficult." The girl's chest tightened, her throat burning with shame. She wanted to disappear. She wanted to cry, but she stood her ground. "This is my seat," she whispered. Her voice shook, but there was strength behind it. The attendant scoffed. "Sweetheart, first class isn't charity. Now take your things and—" Before she could finish, the pilot walked into the cabin. A tall man with streaks of gray in his hair, he carried the calm authority that silenced the entire room. His eyes swept the scene, until they landed on her, and then he froze. His gaze dropped to her chest, where a small tattoo peeked above the neckline of her shirt. A symbol, a date, faded but unforgettable. His face drained of color, and suddenly the confident pilot looked like a ghost. The cabin was silent. The flight attendant straightened, expecting support. "Captain, I was just moving her back to economy. Clearly, she doesn't belong here." But the captain's eyes never left the tattoo. His lips parted, his voice low, almost trembling. Where did you get that tattoo?" Confused and still shaken, the girl replied softly, "It was my father's. He passed away. He had the same one. I got it in his memory." The pilot staggered back as though struck. His hand gripped the seat for balance. For a moment he couldn't breathe, because years ago, in a dusty base overseas, he had flown with a man who carried that exact same tattoo, a man who saved his life during an ambush, a man who'd spoken endlessly about the little girl waiting for him back home. The captain's throat tightened. That man was her father. The flight attendant frowned, impatient. "Captain, with respect, we can't allow—" "Enough!" His voice boomed, commanding every soul in the cabin. He turned to the attendant, fury flashing in his eyes. "Do you have any idea who you just humiliated? This young woman belongs in this seat more than anyone on this plane. If she wants the whole row, she gets it." The attendant's face flushed crimson. She stuttered, scrambling for words, but the captain wasn't done. He stepped closer to the girl, his voice breaking. Your father was the bravest man I ever knew. He saved me. I owe him my life. And seeing you here, it's like he's still with us." Her eyes widened, tears pooling instantly. She had grown up with nothing but stories of her father's sacrifice, but hearing it confirmed by the man standing before her shattered something deep inside. She covered her mouth, sobbing quietly as the captain gently rested a hand on her shoulder. The passengers who once whispered now sat in stunned silence. Some looked ashamed. Others had tears in their eyes. The man in the suit who had smirked earlier shifted uncomfortably. His arrogance dissolved. The captain straightened, his voice firm but emotional. "This young woman's father gave everything so people like us could even be here today. If anyone has a problem with her sitting in first class, they'll answer to me." The cabin erupted in applause, not polite clapping, thunderous, heartfelt applause. Passengers stood, some wiping their eyes, and in that moment the girl wasn't just a passenger, she was a daughter of a hero. She sank into her seat, tears streaming, but this time they weren't from shame. They were from pride, from belonging, from being seen. The flight attendant bowed her head, humiliated in the very way she had tried to humiliate her. She slinked away, silent, knowing that she had just witnessed a truth she could never undo. The captain leaned down one last time. His voice was soft, filled with respect. "Your father saved my life. Today, I'm proud to fly his daughter." The girl nodded, clutching her chest where the tattoo rested, finally realizing the weight of what she carried. Sometimes the world tries to strip you of your worth, but truth has a way of shining through, and dignity can never be stolen. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.